And we're live. Hi, Aparna.
Hi Vinod, how are you?
I'm good. I'm saying hi from India, from all the way from India. And you're in UAE, isn't it?
Yes, I live in Dubai. So how have you
Oh,
been?
okay. I'm okay. How you been?
I'm doing good. It's been good. Yes. So
Okay.
how are things with
W-
you?
w- Okay. Not so good, not so great. Technology is kind of screwing things.
Yes, I agree.
So I'm saying that because, guys, this is the third time we try, not third, what we tried almost 5 times now. Different apps trying to connect.
About
Finally,
five
we're
running.
doing it. We apologize. Yeah, we apologize if there's going to be a lot of freeze in the conversation. Please bear with us, and you can blame Aparna for this.
Yes, please do.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding. So what have you been up to, Aparna, after college?
Well, I worked with an agency for about 2.5 years after we finished college. And then once I moved here, I worked with a school for about a year in the art department. And then I think it was a long break of about 12 years. And now I'm back with a school. It's been 2.5 years now. And it's going good. I teach art in school now.
Nice, nice, super. So I'll straight jump into because I think we have a limited time on this app, isn't it? So I'll just straight jump into this week's conversation. What are we talking about, Aparna, this week?
Okay, I've tried to make some time between work and I do a lot of pen drawings and it's been interesting. And I've tried making some jewelry by myself. And yeah, so there's a few things that I've tried. Yes. So, but off late, I've been
Okay,
making a lot of ball pen art and I find it very interesting. And yeah,
okay,
so basically, I work with,
okay.
I like drawing portraits. I enjoy drawing portraits. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing.
You always were good at it. I think amongst some of the good portrait artists in our classroom, Rorik, I think you, Judy, Rashna Jacob, Yatish, were some. I think Gopal were some of the standouts when it came to portraiture.
Is it? Because I agree with the rest of them. I don't know about good about myself, but I like doing it. So it just makes me feel good. And then that's probably
Yeah,
portraiture
yeah,
was something that I enjoyed more than maybe landscape or still life. So yeah,
right.
so that's how it's been
So,
going.
so okay, to be more specific, are we going to be talking about pen and ink or the terracotta jewelry?
Okay, anything that you like. I can talk about both both, but off late I haven't been making too much jewelry off late. It's been a
Hmm.
while since I made something.
Okay,
I used to make jewelry because I like doing that as well. I like working on intricate things, so I did that for a while. I would like to take that up again.
I'll tell you what we could do. I think we could do another conversation on the pen and ink because that's again as interesting. I think we have some last about pen and ink shade of
Okay.
hello.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you in between.
Just give it a minute.
Yeah.
I love you.
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me now?
But it's saying it's still recording.
Yeah, it's still recording, but I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. So, okay, now we're going to have two different recordings, or it's the same thing that's happening? The
No,
same record.
it's the same one. So you
And
have,
I think then it's okay. I think we'll just continue. That's absolutely okay. So this is going to keep happening. Uh, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sorry. Apologize, guys. So we're going to bear with us for this week. So it's going to be like this. I think both of our networks are a little screwed up this week. I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah, I'm saying we could do both. Or the way we could do that is, let's talk about one subject and then go to another subject on another separate episode. And from that perspective, I think the terracotta jewelry is something very interesting. So far nobody has been able to showcase something which is quite as different as terracotta jewelry. So I think that will be a great
Sure,
conversation to have. Hmm?
sure.
With your permission, of course.
Yes, that would be fine. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Awesome. So I'm just going to dive right into it. So what inspired you to start? When did you start?
I do have a liking for jewelry, maybe not for myself, but I did like making jewelry. I also,
Okay.
yeah, did a small course on jewelry about 13 years ago, but that as such didn't have anything to do with clay jewelry. But I think that whole fascination for it just
Hmm.
started then. This was more with the course
Hmm.
was more with working with gold and silver jewelry. But I thought terracotta was a nice medium. It's not
Okay.
exactly terracotta. It's just it's clay, air dry clay that I work with. So
What clay is that?
it's air dry clay.
Okay.
So it's a nice medium to work with.
This
Um,
is what they used to sculpt and all of that, to sculpt and make uh, all of these. How do I put it? Modeling and all happens with that. It's a very different kind of a clay, isn't it? It's synthetic, is it?
uh, It's not the one that generally I think a regular clay that you are talking about is probably something that just stays soft and doesn't harden much. But air dry clay generally, left outside for a while, just hardens like within a day or so.
Oh,
So it's really ideal for these
okay.
kind of crafty things. Yeah. So,
Okay. No, because I've seen people sculpting small dolls and action figures
hmm,
with some kind of a very whitish kind of a clay,
yeah,
and
exactly.
then they just keep tapping their hand into a little bit of water and then sculpt it. And then after a point, you can make out that it's become harder, and then they start doing the final detailing on it.
Yeah, exactly. You get them. I think you do get white clay, which is very common, and then you do get one in a terracotta color. So you can use water and smooth it out, and just let it dry, and then
Okay.
it dries pretty fast as well. So it's actually
Okay.
quite a
Okay.
nice medium to work with. Yeah. So
Oh,
I thought
nice.
it was nice. Yeah. So once
Is
you
it expensive?
it's not very expensive. It's not very expensive, but I don't know if you
Okay.
can kind of pick them up in a large quantity. Usually, you get small packs that way. Okay, so I think
Okay.
polymer clay
Okay.
would be something a little more expensive. That's a really nice thing to work with as well, but needs baking. But this is a little more easier because there's no baking involved in an
There's no
air.
baking.
No, there's no baking involved.
Okay.
So what I would do
Oh,
was
okay.
I would just mold the jewelry and leave it to dry so for a day or two, and then yeah, it just be good.
So you are saying you only get two colors. You get a terracotta color itself, and you get this off-whitish color.
Right. It's a white, yeah, it's a white and a terracotta color. Right. So I would
Oh,
prefer
okay.
white because it's easier to paint on. So once it dries, then your colors stand out a little more. So if it's a terracotta color, then
Okay.
your colors are not too bright on it, and they seem a little dull.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how did you come across this material? You knew this from before?
No,
You've
I didn't.
seen somebody do this?
No, I didn't know this from before, but then I did see it in a store. So I tried it out once and I thought it was really nice. And I was still thinking
Okay.
of ideas for to make jewelry, and this came across as a nice thing to try out. Yeah. So I
Awesome.
would
Okay.
probably make like a big pendant or something like that, and I would kind of work with beads as well, just to make a whole chain or earrings or bracelets.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you have a very unique design pattern in all of your jewelry designs that I saw, the photos that you shared with, very colorful, very vivid, a lot of turquoise, a lot of saffron color, a lot of sapphire color. It's a lot of turquoise, actually teal and turquoise color.
Yeah.
Where did that sense of color and pattern come from? Are you following some trend, some local artisan?
No, I like using a lot of geometric designs, and I think somewhere I think I like the way folk art is done, so I used a few of those ideas as well in my designs. And colors, I tried to keep them bright, so I would use a lot of bright colors
Hmm.
for the thing. And it would
Hmm.
also depend if I'm customizing this for somebody, then it would be the colors that they would ask me to use. You know, so if they're asking me specific colors or
Okay. Okay.
specific designs that would probably suit an ensemble of theirs, then yeah, I'll
Hmm.
work that way. But mostly I try to keep with the
Hmm.
folk art theme and use a lot of geometric shapes.
Okay. Okay. Uh, so I'm just opening some of the works that you've done. So it's got a lot of other materials also, right? It's just not the clay. It's got beads and metals and all of that.
Yes. So, like I told you, the clay would be probably that whole centerpiece, but the rest of
The
it
main
I would
thing.
try and make it with beads that I would get. And
Okay.
the pins are as well. You get these strings. So initially they were a little difficult to kind of shape the pins and make them into hooks, but I think in a couple of days you'll always get the hang of it. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. And do these break when they fall? Regular terracotta, or are they more sturdier?
No, because they never broke for me. Because what we did initially was I molded a few pieces and let my kids play around with it quite a bit. So tossed it, tried to break it and
Was
then
just tested,
yes, it's been tested. So we tried a lot of other
properly
things,
tested.
yes, and worked well under pressure. So like, so it seemed really
Okay.
quite strong. So I thought, why not? Probably the only thing that you have to do is keep it away from moisture. So whenever I would
When you're
make,
making it.
yeah, and later as well. So whenever I would make a piece for someone, I would give them instructions on how you need to take care of it, as in store it in a Ziploc or an ice box or something like that.
What happens even after it's hardened? Even after it's hardened, it can't come near a moist surface, is it?
Maybe a mild moisture would be fine, but if it would probably if there would be a lot of moisture, then it would kind of, the paint would peel off, and then the clay does become a little soft, little. And I'm talking
Okay.
about a lot of moisture. So, but you never know. So that I still ask them to just, wear it like for an occasion and then just take it off and keep it away. But I've never heard of anything, so I think everybody was quite happy with it. So
Okay.
yeah, that was just a small
Hmm.
little tip for taking care of the jewelry. Yeah.
We understood something about material. We understood where your design pattern and colors came from. In a nutshell, what would the process be? You would think of a concept, you would sketch it out, or you would anyways make a shape and then start making your patterns on top of the clay itself.
Okay, I never sketched out my designs. What I would do is I would mold a whole lot of pieces together, just let them dry out, and start working on them with paint, and then that would, it would just flow. So once I start with a base color for it, then start drawing a line, and then I would kind of know what I would want to do next, what designs I would want to fill in next. So it never involved anything like sketching separately and then starting working on it or something. But of course, if somebody, like I told you, wanted something specific,
Mhm.
I've tried doing that. But otherwise, I used to just start painting it directly. Yeah. So, and then the beads, everything I
Okay.
just
And
matched.
what paints were these, Aparna?
I used acrylic colors for these.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
then probably you can just put a little bit of maybe varnish at the end just to give it a nice shine.
In the end.
Yeah, but
Okay.
sometimes just leaving it with a matte finish looks better, I think, because acrylic
Oh, okay.
by themselves would give it a nice, and would give a nice
a
sheen to.
sheen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I understand, apart from making, you've also sold it and you've also exhibited it in a couple
I've
of
done a
places.
few events. I've done a few events, but most of the stuff that I sold were customized. They were friends or people that I knew or family. So events were very few.
Hmm.
I didn't really have the time to focus on events as well because kids were small and then I had my hands full. But yeah, but I think they were mostly customized. Yeah. So I had people
All right.
asking and yeah.
Okay. What would you tell somebody who wants to start off now? Somebody has no knowledge of this and to start off. Is there something somebody could easily do it, or you require a lot of patience? Obviously, with any kind of art form, you do require patience, but beyond patience, you require any special skill as such? Is this something? Uh, how do I put it? Is it very difficult to do, or you think people could try it out and everybody could do it?
I think it's a very easy thing to do. And unlike regular clay where you need to bake it and, if we're talking about air dry clay, I'm just talking only about air dry clay. If you're using some other clay, then you'll have to bake it and, there are a lot of techniques and procedures involved. But if somebody is starting to work with air dry clay, I think it's a very simple and easy medium. If they enjoy what they do, they'll find a way of, um, finding their trying out their own style of doing it and things like that. But I would think it's quite easy, fun to work with, and the final outcome
Mhm.
is really nice. So I don't think you need any special skill sets as such, as long as you have the interest of doing it. Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's also as not as messy as your regular clay.
No, it's not as messy because, and then you're handling smaller portions of clay. You
Yeah,
know,
so you actually require a very small workstation, isn't it? You don't require a lot of water and clay and all of that happening.
No, no, not at all. Because I always had a small corner at home where I would just sit and, probably spread a sheet out and then work on it. But since, like I told
Hmm.
you, portions are very small. Okay, it's not like we're using a whole lot of clay. It's just small bits of it. So it's
Hmm.
not a messy thing at all.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, the
Okay,
small
here's some.
good.
Okay, sorry. This is going on because I think there is some kind of a lag. By the time you finish, and I think it's finished, you're actually still continuing. I'm gonna get used to this. So little birdie tells me you're also into a lot of other things.
Okay, I know who the
You
little
you
birdie
you.
is. So you just have to tell me what the birdie was cooing now. That's it. you know.
You'll have to check with the birdie. You know who the birdie is. So you also used to do. So I'm saying, an artist is somebody who's just not doing probably perhaps just one kind of art. Probably there is a cognitive skill that comes from a lot of other things also, and all of that kind of percolate and come to that one thing that you do, because anything that you've done in art never goes to waste, is what I believe in.
Yeah.
To that extent, I've come to know that you also used to do something to do with shawls, and in a very interesting manner. If you could just tell a little bit about that, and then we'll jump back to terracotta.
Okay, so I'll need to have a word with the birdie later about this. Yes, I, I, I did make a few shawls in between. Again, just wanted to try something new. It's not like I did something big, but I would, you would get beautiful shawls here. So what I tried doing is I would paint on shawls and probably do a bit of stitching and embroidery on it. So it could be flowers or it could be birds and things like that. So, but that was like a really small thing that I did for a while. Yeah, so nothing
So
much.
did it also have the similar kind of patterns or colors like how your jewelry is?
Uh, I think
Similar?
I would choose darker color stoles or shawls, and then I
Hmm.
like working more with gold on them because they would look really
Oh,
nice.
okay.
And it wasn't very something very jazzy because I would probably just do something in a corner, just a small something in a corner. So it was more of gold, and then I worked a lot with beads on the shawls as well. Yeah, so but
Mhm.
basically small motifs and very different to what I did with my jewelry. Yeah, more so with I think flowers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
do you still paint, Aparna? Regular painting and canvases and all that?
Canvas painting, no. I used to paint. I've done quite a few canvases, uh,
Mhm.
but I think I'm probably more a sketching kind of a person. I like sketching and
Okay.
drawing, and then larger areas of work are not my kind of a thing. So I just like
Okay.
working on small things, and uh, yeah, so maybe pencils and pen is what I like more. So painting was, I did do it for a while,
Mhm.
but once I got back to sketching, I just stopped with the painting part of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then when you're working with a whole lot of,
Okay. So each of these art.
yeah, sorry.
No, please go on. No, no, go on.
Working with a whole lot of paint and then paintings, again, the other problem would be storing it, keeping it as well. So I prefer something small and handy that I can do and keep as well.
I have place. I can store it for you. I have
Then you
place.
should you should fill it with your paintings. You're very good at it. You should start. Yes.
This much I can do for my classmate, my friend, and for my country.
Okay, that's very nice of you. But I think you should fill that space with that beautiful painting of yours. So it's you should get back to it. And I think everyone
No,
agrees.
I'm just thinking no, I'm saying if every person I've spoken to so far can give me one painting or their own drawing, I can fill up my entire hall with that. I
Oh.
think we are on the 17th episode, so 17 frames I'm imagining right now.
And I think Vinod, everyone will probably agree with me when when I'm telling you how good you are with painting. So we'll start with yours first, and I'm sure we'd all love to give you one.
Yeah, yeah, you can wait. I don't think I was good in painting. I think just like you, I love sketching, and I still do. I doodle a little bit, mostly on work.
Yeah.
But coming back to you now, okay? So while you paint and sketch, and you used to do the shawl, and you've done a fair bit of jewelry. Now, all of these are very different and very varied arts. Does one influence the other, or you get into a different mind zone? Like when you're sketching, when you're doing obviously portrait, you have a different mindset versus you working on clay. Somewhere do you feel there's a correlation when you work? Because I've heard some artists, you can't put a finger on it and say how and when, but they also seem to have a correlation. But some people, it's like different. There are different boxes in Almara, and this does not go there. It's got its own space.
Okay, for me, they all happened at different times. So they were
Okay.
one-way timing, considering timing, they were never related. I
Okay.
started with shawls first, and like I told you, that was for a very short time. And then it was years later that I started making my jewelry. Uh,
Hmm.
Probably design wise, yes, like I told you, the shawls were more of floral stuff, but these were more geometric. Um, I don't think there's two totally different things.
Totally different.
Yeah, yeah. And now that I've taken up sketching as well, I think that's again another thing.
So you're in different phases of being an artist. So that's over for now. You've moved out to jewelry. From there, you moved on to sketching. I mean, sketching, right, with pen and with a ballpoint pen.
I'm definitely not thinking of the shawls, but the jewelry, yes, I would like to continue. I haven't found the time
Okay.
much for the jewelry thing, but I would still like to continue doing that. Start doing that again. Uh, Sketching, I would never want to give up because it
Yeah.
relaxes me
Yeah.
and makes me happy. So they're totally
Hmm.
different things, but they do the same thing. They just make me happy working on these. So yeah, I
So
think.
working on this on the terracotta, is it right to even call it terracotta jewelry, or is it just what do you call it?
You can just call it clay jewelry, I suppose.
Clay jewelry, no?
It would be
Okay.
like air dry clay jewelry would probably be very long, so it would just be clay jewelry. Yeah.
Yeah, but I wish they had kind of introduced us to all of this in way back in college, isn't it? We could have really experimented with these things.
Yeah, it would be nice. But we did work with a little bit of terracotta, I think. Yes, we did. Or did we work with clay?
Terracotta clay, yeah, but I'm saying air dry clay.
Yeah,
Never felt, never, I mean, never come in contact, but I've actually sat and worked on it. Sounds interesting to something
it
to,
is very
you know.
interesting. Yeah. But and then I think I came across this after so many years, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, this was, I think, 2013, 14 when I started doing air dry clay. So I think, I found that after a long time here. So
Hmm. Hmm.
we probably wouldn't have known about it. Yeah, but had we seen it during our college days, I think we would all had a little fun trying it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And now having worked on it and come up with your own designs, how was the response from friends, families, from potential customers who saw it? Did they like it in the first go itself? Were they as curious to find out what material it was?
A lot of people were happy with it. A lot of people do, just kind of compare it with terracotta jewelry itself. And I think when you look at people, a lot of people didn't want to know what it was. They were just happy with the way it looked and it
Oh,
felt, and so that was fine. But there were a few people who were curious about how it's
yeah.
made, and what are the materials that I've been using and things like that. A few people who were interested. And as far as people asking me,
Okay.
yes, there were quite a few people who asked me about it. And recently my little birdie asked about it as well. So, yeah, so she's been motivating me to get back into it because I heard quite a few people asking about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was coming actually to that because they look so colorful. They look very. They're like, I feel very happy jewelry. It looks very ethnic, but it's a very happy jewelry. I feel for of a person who wears it, you feel that person has got that kind of a personality. That's what I felt. I don't wear jewelry, but that's how I'm perceiving it. So, but was there some kind of a push and ask from people saying to ebb you to go on to do uh, more of these terracotta jewelry? At any point of time, did you feel, Acha, bahut ho gaya, I've done it, I don't feel like? But then this energy came from other people saying, no, no, do it. I think this is a good thing that's happening. Did you get that kind of a push with jewelry?
A few of my friends did ask me to continue. Okay. And and after the way it was, everyone looked at it, I thought it was nice, but I don't know where this whole break came in from. And then I just decided to, things just slowed down, and then just stopped for a while. But
Yeah.
yeah, there are people who still ask me about it.
Mhm.
uh, and that's why I thought I'll just start off with it sometime.
I think you should. It's like some of us have many facets, isn't it? Sometimes you start something, and sometimes you've hit, you get a high on something, and then after that you're looking at the next thing to do. Are you somebody like that, or are you, for whatever reasons, right? Life just happens, and for some reason you just drop it and you're not able to pick it up again. Is it that?
I think it is that, because a lot of
Okay.
other things needed attention, probably at home and probably out at work. Uh, it just stopped. It's not because I lost interest. I'm still very interested.
Oh, okay.
It just stopped because I think other commitments and spending time with other things. And once you stop something, at least that's how it works with me. Once you stop something, then it's really difficult to kind of get back to that,
Restart it.
though you
Mm,
want to. But then
yeah.
starting something again is, I think, it's very difficult, and you need a lot of
How
time.
much, and each jewelry, I'm sure, depending on the size and the intricacy of the design, the pattern, and all of that. But on a typical earring or a necklace would take you how long? Is it again dependent on the mood that you're in?
No, but those days I used to work pretty quickly. I mean, pretty fast. So maybe a small pair of earrings would just get done in about a couple of days, because I
Oh
am
wow.
including the drying part as well. The molding wouldn't
Okay.
take long, but the drying would, and I would let it sit for a while, just to make sure that it's completely dry.
It's really hard and.
Yeah. So and the painting wouldn't take long. So let's say
Mhm.
a couple of days for a small
So
year.
so the molding, let's say, is going to take you a couple of hours.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the drying would take about a day, 2 day.
It would take about a day, but like I told you, I would let it sit for
You'll keep an extra day.
a day. Yeah. So it just dries up completely, and it's not really soft even inside. So I've let it sit, in a
So
sun.
when does the string come up? The string goes in when it's dry, or when it's still wet and soft.
No, the string goes in once it's dry, and I would paint it. I would paint it, paint the designs on it, get the entire piece ready, and then put in the string and the beads.
Oh,
That,
it's that hard, so it wouldn't break. There's no thing of it getting a crack or something.
no, it wouldn't.
Oh,
It's quite strong actually.
oh, okay.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
they, and they're very light. They kind of look a bit heavy when you look at the pictures, but
Yeah.
yeah, but they're pretty light actually. Yeah. Except those
Okay.
the bigger, bigger earrings
Earrings.
were probably a little heavier, but it's quite
So the blue color one, jumki is what you call it, isn't it? That would be a very heavy one.
no, I never made very heavy pieces. They were all small ones itself, and the beads are light
Okay.
as well. So if you're combining beads and the clay part, the whole thing would be very light. But if you make a bigger clay, mold a bigger piece of clay, then it would be a little heavy.
Hmm.
Just make sure that it's something that's wearable. You wouldn't feel very uncomfortable. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? A lot of these Aztec civilization jewelry, where even the men used to wear of something going from here, coming out from there, and all these weird jewelry, but they're actually very beautiful to look at and very colorful with their pattern and all that. Some of your works remind me of that. Uh, for
Yeah.
your inspiration, did you look at more of Indian? If Indian, then any specific region that you looked into?
No, I did look at a bit of African stuff because I think they're really nice. They have some uh, really nice
Oh,
patterns as well. Okay. Yeah. So I think there's a bit of everything in it. A bit of every place that
okay.
I've taken something from our own Indian thing, and then a bit of a lot of African stuff as well. You know. They
Okay.
have some really nice patterns and things like that. So yeah,
But the colors, I'm not sure it's African, is it?
no, but colors I had decided to keep them bright. So probably African, we'd all relate to browns and blacks and maybe dark reds.
A
But
lot of yellows and reds
yeah,
contrast. If you look at the Masai Maras and all that, it's a lot of red and a lot of
right,
yellow and
right.
whites in that.
So
So you tend to move more towards your blues, because I see a lot of blues and very bright, happy blues that you use.
it was probably not
Turquoise.
intentional. It's probably not intentional. Maybe that's how it is because I do tend to pick a lot of blues. I prefer shades of blue and shades of brown as well. Uh,
Hmm.
and I think you'll see a lot of black in it, as a base
Yeah,
color.
like the outlines and the demarcation and all of that.
Right? Because black was always helping me, bring out the patterns more and make them
It
stand.
pops out more.
Yeah, it pops out more. So black was good, but the colors basically blues, like I told you, probably was very unintentional. Yes, but sometimes maybe if you like a color, you tend to kind of gravitate towards it.
Gravitate towards that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I have worked with a lot
What's
of greens as well. So there are a lot of
a lot of?
bright greens and
Okay.
yeah, bright colors that you can really match up with a lot of
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I like blue, and in my eyes, I only saw blues, and I forgot the rest.
no, maybe we just probably I should share more pictures with other colors, but then yeah, so a lot of colors. I tried using almost all the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but overall, they're very pretty. They're very pretty, very beautiful jewelry. What's
Thank
the largest and piece that you've done, and or probably what's consumed a lot of time because of the intricacy and the detailing? Remember any such piece?
Uh, no, I think everything took pretty much the same time. But if I was working on a whole set, then it would probably take a little longer than the earrings that we were talking about because that would involve a centerpiece and then the earrings and maybe a bracelet. But I would try to keep it minimal if it was a whole set. Uh, it would take me
You
about.
make it sound also easy. I
It
should have
was
asked that
also
question.
easy. It was also
What
easy.
are you talking about? What hard? What is this? Is like Baya ka khel? Sorry, I shouldn't have asked you that.
No, 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 no. I think everyone's going to feel the same way. Like I told you, it was a really easy medium to work with. So, and the whole procedure, and once you start enjoying it and putting things together and looking at the outcome, then I think it's all worth it. And it is a pretty simple thing, basically.
Hmm.
So, like I was telling, the biggest piece would probably be I would also make huge pieces like say, pendants, and then just put a string around it, so keep the skip the beads on the thing. So maybe those kind of pieces would take me longer to paint. uh, yeah, but again, it would
Hmm.
probably not take very long. Maybe including the drying time, it would be about around 3 to 4 days. Yeah, because the
Okay.
larger the piece.
Since you work so much with that material, what if I make a big chunk of uh, air dry clay? Okay, so the core would take a longer time to dry out, or it'll evenly get dried out any which ways.
No, that would take a long time to dry out. So,
So it dries from the outside in.
yeah. So I would try to leave it outside for a while. So because these pieces that I was making are pretty thin.
Are already flat.
Yeah, they're quite flat and they're quite thin. So they wouldn't take long. That's why I told you like a day or two to dry out. So if it's the thicker the piece, then it would take very long. So the outside dries up quickly and the inside takes quite some time. So if you have a sunny area, then that would really help you with this. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you all kinds of stupid questions. So let's say I have a master mold and it's something very thin, like how your jewelry is. And let's say that's rubber mold, and when I pour or I lay the air dry clay in that and remove and let it to dry. So let's say if it's like a phone case, I'm sure I'm not going to try doing that. Let's say it's like a phone case, but if you end up doing something like a phone case, will it be strong enough? Will it take the drops and all of that, or you think it's too thin and too the area surface is quite large and it might become brittle? Maybe smaller flat things will be more stronger, I'm guessing, like a plectrum.
Try something as big as a phone case. Okay, to start with, I wouldn't try something as big because with what I tried and the pieces, they wouldn't break, maybe because they were smaller as well.
Smaller.
Like I told you, we were just we tried tossing it around and then, running after it and then, jumping on it and everything. Okay. So a bigger piece would probably, I'm not sure. We never tried something that big as such. I mean, we did try a few big pieces, but not as big as what you're asking me. But yeah, maybe it probably wouldn't break if you take care of it carefully and not drop it. So
No, I think I'm just excited. I'm just excited knowing. Maybe I always knew it, but never bothered to look into it. Now that you're talking about it and you're saying it's easy, it doesn't take up too much space, one feels like everybody should try. And uh, have you tried teaching your students to work with air dry? Have you introduced that to them?
we did.
Perhaps that's something kids might enjoy. What do you think?
Yeah, we did have a few classes in school where the kids were supposed to sculpt something out of it. So we had a very interesting topic. So they were supposed to sculpt. I mean, we did this in groups, small groups, and they were supposed to sculpt out or mold a shoe out of the clay and paint Van Gogh's Starry Night on it once it dries up. Of course,
Oh wow,
so it was a fun
that would
thing.
look beautiful.
It didn't go the way we imagined it. I mean, the whole process, but it was nice to see that the kids enjoyed it. Uh, I think we had a. I'm sorry, I'm saying this, but I think the outcome was better with the girls than it was with the boys group because I think they were more into having fun with the clay, and then So, but I think it was a really nice class, and yeah, but when you tend to do it in a larger group, so you need more clay with it for a larger
Yeah.
group. Then with all the tossing and the throwing, and then with all the water, then it kind of becomes a bit of a messy thing with the kids. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was really fun. I think they were
Yeah, I'm sure.
very happy that
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because that's the first thing when you said you teach kids and then you worked on this. This is something kids would have loved doing. I remember every time mom made chapati, I will sneak and pull out, take one ball, run away, and try to make crocodiles or something. And she'll be like, "Say, what happened to the?" I would take two, three, and make one shark, one whale, one thing because they wouldn't buy clay for whatever reason. And me living in Pottery Town, obviously, I've tried with the regular clay that we used in college, but this was fascinating because it's your hands are clean and then see what you're doing, but you keep playing with dough for a long time, and after a point it starts smelling. So
Yeah.
I'm sure with this air dry clay you wouldn't have all of those issues. And I think naturally kids will gravitate towards working with that kind of a clay,
Yeah,
which is
it's
why I asked.
yeah.
Also, I feel saying it's so easy, it'd be nice to do small interesting things like maybe rings and small toys and I don't know, nice knickknacks. The first thing that comes to my mind is toys because I love toys. I am thinking of doing small, interesting looking toys. I think it'll come out really well. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looked really nice. And then these pieces that I was telling you, some of them did come out really well. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures of it. So some of the kids had really done a good job. So once it was over and then they had painted the Starry Night on it, it looked amazing. So little pieces that you can just keep at home
Yeah,
as well. I think that would look great actually. I think the only thing that probably the kids
yeah, yeah. I mean, these were life size shoes that you guys did, or smaller size
they
shoes.
were the smaller size ones, you know,
Okay,
smaller size. So
but with the lace, with
they
the
did you
lace and everything, is it?
now some of the boys tried the lace and some didn't want to do it. So there were a few things with just slip-on kind of shoes, and then there were ones with lace in it, and then they had other weird designs happening. I think the only thing that the boys didn't like was the cleaning up after the after the whole class. I think that was one thing that they didn't enjoy out of the whole thing. But yeah, you could probably like try something, working on smaller pieces that you can keep at home, and you know, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I think
That's
it.
something. I think I would try something like that because it seems like fun.
Yeah, it does. And you must share
Seems
pictures
like
up.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, how long have you spent? I'm sorry, I'm asking you this because you said this is Zoom and it's only got a 40 minute.
Okay, not very sure, but
That's okay. We can go on, but
yeah.
I hope.
Okay, but I think maybe around 30 and odd minutes now. Yeah, around 30
Ah,
plus.
good, good. We have some more time.
Yeah. So, but then we do get cut off.
So when are you starting again? I'm interested to see the new ones. When do you plan to start again? I'm sure with the COVID and then restarting of schools and all of that has got you completely bogged down. But eventually, you might end up starting somewhere at
I
some
was
point.
something in December, just planning. Uh,
Hmm.
we do get a short break for Christmas. So I'm planning to do a lot of sketching, and then also planning to start making my jewelry again. So I mean that's what I've planned, but I'm not very sure how that's going to go. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, I think I just one more question to ask from a jewelry perspective. So obviously also do jewelry like this, but do you think regulatory standpoint with whatever other materials people make jewelry, where does this stand? Is it like a very expensive jewelry, or is it like a, or if it's not expensive, it's like very exclusive because this is not everybody's taste and it's not for everybody. It's for a very select few.
Okay, I missed a few of those words, but from whatever I could catch,
Oh, wow. You want me to repeat that? I can do that.
yes, please. Yeah.
No, no. In all the types of jewelry that's there, how expensive are these jewelry? Because you've been doing that and you've been selling also, and I'm sure there are other people also doing similar jewelry and selling. So where is their price point at? One. Second is this is a jewelry. This is not for everybody. It's exclusive. It's not everybody. could carry it off. Probably it's a very niche segment. So where does it fall in the world of jewelry in terms of price point, in terms of exclusivity?
Okay. Now, first thing that we've heard of is terracotta jewelry, and then there's something else called polymer clay. So polymer clay, from what I've seen and heard about, is quite expensive. So what happens is
Oh,
jewelry is quite expensive. So this would probably be as much as maybe terracotta jewelry, or maybe priced even lesser. But if you
oh,
for the painting part of it, and like I said, you don't spend too much time, but then it does take effort, a little effort as well. So it probably is as you could price it as much as you price a terracotta piece. Again,
okay.
terracotta would probably be priced more, because then there's the baking. Like I said, there's the baking.
Baking.
There is an extra step in between. So, and then yes, there are a lot of people into clay jewelry these days, and I mean making clay jewelry. So I mean, on Facebook itself, I've seen so many people make and sell clay and terracotta jewelry and polymer clay these days. That seems to be quite in demand.
So what's polymer clay now? That's new. I've never heard of these things.
Polymer clay is now terracotta. From what we know, is just brown clay. Polymer clay, you do get it in many colors, and it you mold it just like the way you mold the rest of it, and then you there's a baking involved in this as well. Probably the material by itself,
Okay, so baking in that also.
so the baking, and then the material by itself is a little expensive.
Okay.
So,
So
and
I mean, how different is that from ceramic?
I'm not very sure about ceramic now, because I haven't heard much about it, or I haven't seen too many things. But again, the finish with polymer clay is totally different. It's got a smoother finish,
Okay.
and they
Okay.
can
Okay.
paint. You don't have to paint because you have all these assorted colors.
Mhm.
So, and probably for the whole feel of the clay once it's baked. But I think the procedure is all the same. I mean, the initial molding, and then the putting the hooks or the threading it, all those things would probably be the same. But just the texture of the clay, and then that one extra step in between about of baking it. Um, I don't know. Generally, I think it's a little expensive, but that's something that I would like to try out as well. But maybe sometime. I'm quite happy with this, the way this looks. This has a more earthy feel to it. That's what I think. Terracotta and air dry clay would have a more earthy feel, and that's more of a smooth and polished and finished look that the polymer clay jewelry has.
Okay. I think it's also kind of fit pretty well with our lifestyle also, isn't it? Without being too much of a mess, without probably taking that much of, you first mold it, then you're designing it, and then you're putting it in the kiln, removing it, and then probably painting all of that. So in that way, probably this is a more quicker and a more easier material to work with.
Uh, Yes, I thought so. I mean, I think, because for me, again, baking it and finding means of baking it was would be a problem, and I wouldn't probably want to use an oven that I use for something else at home to bake these things. So I'd have to get an extra oven, and then all those small little things that made me kind of choose this,
Right.
and then it worked out pretty well actually. So maybe for someone looking at it, they would probably see small differences in it. But then, the three different things, and then yeah, I mean, for someone
Yeah.
who's really looking at it, there are different
Yeah.
things, and then it's always nice to have one of each. So why not? I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Variety. Yeah. And have you ever thought of taking it online and doing small DIY sessions of making terracotta jewelry?
No, I've never thought of that, because again, I was just happy making these. I wouldn't mind teaching if someone
Mhm.
really to learn it. I mean, it's always nice to work with people, and then
Yeah.
uh, maybe share your ideas and share their ideas. But I've never thought of doing something on YouTube or any other this thing media about this. But yeah, maybe eventually I would like to take a small class or something like that. That would, I think, be fun. Work with smaller children as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe something to think about.
Done. I mean, you've taught this in your school.
We've
Yeah,
thought
it'll
like,
be interesting because what I've learned, what I've learned these talks is a lot of these things that your never crosses your mind about most of these topics that we've been talking about. But then sit and have a one-on different respect to that feels it's reachable because one of us has gone and done it. You feel like, yes, I mean, if he or she could do it, I probably also could do it. So that's the kind of small inspiration that I feel I get every time I speak to all of you all, and I'm sure people who watch this also, they get the same thing, which is why I always end my questions with, do you teach, do you want to teach, have you taught somewhere? Because I think there's a beauty in learning, and there's a lot more beauty in then, once you've learned, to giving it out to people. And the more and more you talk about this terracotta, and in my mind, till you spoke today, I didn't know it was this air dry what do you say, clay. I had no clue. I probably have seen it, but I don't know that's called. I'll have to now Google and figure out and understand what is polymer clay. So, but I think it'll be interesting if you could share small things that you do by yourself. Shoot just with your mobile, just with your hands, and showing small things. And I think that'll be a great gifting idea for all these festivities. Making a small Santa or something for Christmas, or making something for diyas for Diwali. Don't you think?
yes, does sound nice actually. But like I told you, till now, kind of work with smaller groups. But maybe this is something that we can think of. Like I said, yeah, and like you said, it's always nice to teach and share these ideas and things like that. But whenever it used to come with about YouTube, it's a larger audience. So I think there is a little bit of planning, and so we'll probably have to work on that and
Yeah.
maybe try. Yeah, I think it sounds good.
YouTube is just a fad. There's nothing big about it. Now, to do this, did we do any planning? Nothing. We just came and then we're doing this conversation. That's it's just that the platform is YouTube. That's all. So I'm going to be a first student. I'm already enrolled. You send me the prospectus. Give me the fee structure. You got to give me some EMI scheme because this is COVID. I would learn. I would want to
That
uh,
expenses anyway.
learn a bit of how.
Yeah. No, but thank you.
Oh, we are in for another fees.
No, but thank you for this. I do feel very motivated to try and do something. And yeah, let's see how that goes. And I will let you know if I'm planning something like that. Yeah, yeah, just to keep you posted. So,
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. Because we uh, being part of an NGO, we've been teaching those children how to do. I'm not getting the word. I had two different things when in between a conversation, and sometimes my mind just goes blank. These what do you call them? Miniature worlds that you create. If it's a street corner, or if it's just a house or table, but everything is like uh, miniaturized. I don't know what it's called. I wish I could Google, but my phone is stuck there. It's getting recorded, so I can't do it. So a lot of what clay that you use, I think, can come in handy there, and that's something I've been very interested in knowing what material they take. And with what you're saying, I already have a inclination to do something like that, but with air dry clay. I'm going to come back to you for this, madam
yes, please do. You know.
teacher.
Yes, sir. You should. And yeah, so I think these are nice ideas, and then you can involve small kids in the
Wow. No.
trying to do the small little things, and then decorative stuff, and keep them at home or gift them. I think they'll really make nice gifts as well. And sometimes when you make something for people, I think they really love it. So I think we should all try doing that.
Okay, I think we went on a large freeze. I only heard tick tock, tick tock, and I said we should all try that. As long as it's recorded, you were able to hear. I'm good. I think this is an indication to say, okay, we got a. I think we're running out of time also with, and we're cutting close, and I don't want this to get cut again. So, but I thank you again, Aparna. I know it was. We had a lot of technical challenge today, especially to get this done. I hope the recording has come okay. So whatever valuable information you've given, I hope it's all recorded properly so everybody could hear it, view it. And thanks for doing this. And we'll do another episode specifically on ballpoint sketching.
Sure. And thank you so much. It was really fun having this talk with you and sharing all these thoughts. And then, now I do feel like trying something new as well. Those little videos and everything that you told me. So, yeah. And yes. So thank you so much, Vinod.
Thank you, and I hope you do it. And as and when you do it, do post it in the group. I know, like you, it's not that you guys don't appreciate or or don't participate. I know silently you guys still watch it. You just, that's your personality. But this time, if you do come across any of your drawing, your sketchings, I know, do share your Instagram link in the weekend, because I think a lot of your good works are there on Instagram. But even otherwise, once in a while in the WhatsApp group, do put in your works, because a lot of our classmates, a lot of our batchmates, we really don't know what they're up to. We kind of hear about them and then we completely forget. Now that we have started to know all of us again, all over again after 20 plus years, it's we know everybody's personality to a certain extent. We also now know what they're doing. But as and when you do, not just Aparna, I'm urging all of you guys, whenever you do anything interesting, do share in the group. And once again, Aparna, thank you for doing this, and see you soon again.
Thank you so much, Vinod. Thank you so much. And I'll definitely do that.
Thank you, Macha. Bye.
Okay.